Hey guys, since I've been really loving making different videos lately, I decided to make one that I've been thinking about making for probably well over a year now. A lot of you guys always ask me to make it, I just didn't really think that it was a necessary step, but I do think that I have a lot to offer in terms of, obviously you've already seen what this is about. I think I have a lot to offer in terms of how to get better at Skywars. A lot of you guys are always asking me how I'm so good, and as always, there's going to be people like, well, you're not very good at all. And I agree, I'm not actually all that good. I just really do know how to play the game, and there's a huge difference between being actually skilled or playing at a high level and then just knowing how to play the game well enough to where you do well, I would say, 95% of the time. As you can see here, for those of you who may be new to my channel or just my stats, you can see them right here. Clearly I have pretty good stats. I don't think there's any arguing that. And the reason that I have these high stats is because I know how to play the game and I know what to do in each situation. So I kind of wanted to go over how you guys can get a little bit better. Obviously if you're already good, I would say about, anywhere above even like a 2 KD or 2 or 3, you will learn probably nothing from this because you probably already know all this. But if you're trying to get better, this is kind of a video directed at you, so I will try to make it entertaining for those of you who really don't need this as well, obviously. So let's hop right into the games. I'm going to do this live, but I'm going to touch on many different aspects of how I play, and then I will explain them, because I don't usually explain how I do things. I just play and you watch me play. I don't explain why I do the things I do. So let's hop into the first key tip. Now, I have actually mentioned a lot of these different tips that you'll hear in this video in other videos, but I wanted to get them all in one place so that you guys could kind of take it all in together instead of hearing bits and pieces of my advice. But this very first example is very specific to fast-paced maps like Ages, which is why I specifically chose it. So we are going to demonstrate, the first little tip here is, if you can get quick at looting, you will be at a great advantage. And I know, like, that wasn't all that quick. I mean, it was pretty quick, to the point where I have all my armor on my island. I'm already in middle. And you can see people like this, they hit one chest, and I've already controlled middle. So, as you can see, it's very dominant. I guess I will play this game out just so I can entertain you guys a little bit longer here. Yeah, basically, when you loot fast in Skywars, you're in middle way sooner than other players, obviously. That should go without saying. Oh my god. Okay, this is terrifying. I don't like that. Okay, we got it. But this is not going to be like some crazy game. You know what? Screw it. We're just going to cut to the next game. I'm going to play this one out, show you that I win, and then cut to the next tip. And there it is. Won our very first game. I actually wanted to demonstrate this on, but moving on to the next tip. So moving on to the next tip here, I want to show this example on Plateau because it's a very easy one to show it on, but pretty much any map works in any circumstance. We're going to be talking about block placing or block clutching or bridging in general. I'm actually happy that the lobby's not filling up quite yet because I do want a little bit more time to talk about it. But this is a very obvious example on Plateau. You see it all the time in my videos, and I'll show you here. And I use Scout, so most of these strategies that I'm showing you I do with speed, but you don't need it. So, this works any map, but we're just going to play normally, as you normally would. Loot fast, which is the previous tip that I was warning you guys about. And then you can just try to get good at doing stuff like this, where you can leap around, and I'm not going to show you the whole game, but like stuff like that, Block clutching like that saves tons of time. You can escape many people using that tactic, and you can get to middle usually way faster than anyone else. So that's what I wanted to show you. We just failed really hard there. Actually, well, that's we're gonna keep that in because it's a great transition into my next tip. Now, as you saw in that last one, the next tip is work on hotkeying and Enderpearl specifically. Obviously, I can tell you, work on your rod, work on getting good hits, work on like combos, whatnot. You can work on all that at the same time as all these other tips, which is why I'm not even going to go over those because that's pretty obvious. Get better at using a rod if you choose to or not. Get better at using speed PvP, all that stuff. Find a good... I'm not going to go over all that, but I'm going over more specific to Skywars tips. So basically, as you saw in that last one there, although we failed, we were able to save ourselves with a Enderpearl, and that's the biggest thing in Skywars. Obviously, you lose if you fall off into the void, and that's most of the deaths in Skywars. So I'm just hoping that we get Enderpearls from this, so I can just kind of show you. But I mean, you see it all the time in my videos, so I think this one's pretty clear. But if you have Enderpearls, I swear. Well, that's hilarious because he did have Enderpearls, and we unfortunately didn't get any. But I don't really need to actually show you me clutching. You know what? No, I will. I'll throw in an Enderpearl clutch. Okay, just kidding. I have a couple, but I'm not going to throw those in because I do want to save those for Pearl God V3, which should be coming out if I can get a couple more clutch ones, but I have a bunch. So yeah, look forward to that. But it's obvious that my hotkey is set to 9. It's actually a side mouse button on my mouse. You can see here I have slot 7 and slot 9 hotkeys. You know, usually 7's my healing and 9's my... Literally, if I have pearls, it is always going to be a 9 because I hotkey that instinctively. I would recommend getting a hotkey yourself and working on getting better with it. If you don't use a rod or you know, you don't have a bow or anything, you could try putting it in something easy to hit. If you don't have side mouse buttons, such as 1, 2, and 3, or maybe even 4, any of those are pretty easy, and you could try getting better hotkeying those. But that's what I would suggest for that big tip, because it can save your life, obviously, so many times. It's one of the most important things in all of Skywars. Now, I'm hoping this works out perfectly to demonstrate my next tip. You see it a lot whenever I play Martian, pretty much every time. I always do this jump, which is a previous tip I talked about. Get good at block placing, because it can save you a lot of time, and enemies don't typically expect it. So I'm hoping I don't get full armor, because this tip relies on the fact that you are missing an armor piece, and it's all about knowing when and how to find the missing armor piece. And there's tons of different ways to do that. So I'm just going to play normally, and hopefully we don't get all armor. It's looking good that we're not going to. Okay, we don't. So in this situation, I don't have all armor. So on Martian, it's very easy because you can just hop across, do this, and hopefully get that missing armor piece. And we did. Right there. Boom. So my next tip, you know, it's hard to demonstrate because, you know, sometimes you can't find the right armor piece. But basically, what I'm saying is always be aware what armor piece you're missing, and don't focus a guy that has the armor piece or doesn't have the armor piece you need, if that makes sense. So if you need pants, don't focus a guy that also doesn't have pants. You know what I'm saying? Focus on a guy that might have 3/4 and he doesn't have a helmet. He's still missing a piece, so it'll be an easier kill. However, he also has your piece that you need. So that's what I do a ton. You can see in a ton of my videos is I focus on guys. You have to play smart enough to where you focus on people that will help you and improve your gear. That's super, super important in Skywars because it's very common that you don't get all of your gear. So we're just going to combo this man and move into the next tip. Never mind, apparently you're going to be taking a screen. I don't do this ever because I'm never unnicked, but for the sake of the video, I guess I will do that. He's going to actually fight back, I think. I don't know. Oh, God. Okay. Well, that's another thing you can work on. Obviously, I said I'm not going to go over that in this video. Is like comboing using a rod, working on your aim. All of that stuff is just across the line, like getting better at PvP, but we're talking about Skywars here, so that's why I'm not going to go into it. I'm not going to go into my settings or anything like that because that's really on you. It's not what I use, it's what you're comfortable with. So the tips that I've already gone over, I believe, are some of the most important fundamentals about Skywars. So if you can nail those and you get better at PvP at the same time, hopefully you will get really, really good at Skywars. Actually, hopefully not, because then I can't get good games, am I right? But another tip that I want to go into here is know the perks in the game and know how to use them. And this is a huge one. I have actually a funny example of this, is that someone as good as the best Ginger, some of you may know him, he and I played teams a while back on a stream, and I was talking to him about, he was asking how I'm good at Skywars, and even though that he's way better than me at PvP in general, and obviously UHC, but he didn't really actually know too much about the perks in the game and how overpowered they can be in the right situation. So I helped him out. I told him what to buy and whatnot, and then he later was tweeting me, you know, screenshots of his like getting, you know, 15, 16 kill team games. He's like, oh my god, the regen, that was the example that he was like, oh my god, Juggernaut's so good. And I was like, yeah, I told you, it's super good. So we're gonna hop in another game, and I will show you, especially in solo, which we're focusing on this episode. I will show you how to, you know, hopefully play to your advantage of the perks, or play to the advantage of the perks that you have, I should say. Obviously, if you're low, you're going to want to, and you have just gotten a kill, you're going to want to maybe stall a little bit. Don't go right in. I always play aggressive, so I'm really not the best example of this, but if you want to maximize your perks, you know, if you're at 2 hearts and there's a guy trying to clean you up, but you just got a kill, and say you have max regen, but you don't have max strength, maybe just run away. Don't try to fight him. You don't need to. Rot him away, run, stall, get a couple hearts back, and then maybe go in for a cheeky little fight. Oh, man. I'm sorry, man. Oh, it's so laggy. What in the world? I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. No, 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 please. No, I really need you to prove my point here. I really do. It's a perfect opportunity for a strength chain. I need this. Okay, perfect. So, obviously, this guy wanted to try to clean me up here, and he's going... Oh, this is so laggy. Hypixel's so laggy right now. So, here I am. I am super, super low, and I was getting cleaned up there. But as you can see what I did, I knew I had strength. Obviously, most of you guys know this. Strength's in this game. So if you have max strength, and you're even super low, like I'm talking 3-4 hearts, and you're confident enough, you can kill a guy in 2 to 3 hits. So you can actually just quickly turn on that guy and go for... I kept that guy in the air, that was insane. But you can just turn around and go for that guy. And... Hello, man. Let's combo you into the moon. Oh, you're insane. Coming back. Okay, good stuff. So if someone were to clean me up right here, I could have just, you know, obviously strength them. And secondly, you can see my regen going into effect. Oh, okay. Well, that was actually a pretty good example. Obviously, a better example is something like my Aegis Moment series, where most of the series is just me strength chaining people. So really play to the strength of your perks is a huge one that I always am aware of. You know, if I'm low and I need to run, because you have 10 seconds of regen, or at least I do. If you're comfortable enough fighting, turn and fight, because you might have strength. So just keep that in mind. This applies actually across the board to any game, but, you know, we're talking about Skywars today. Now, extending on from the whole perk thing and knowing what the perks are in this game and how good they are and in what situation you should really take advantage of them. Another example I would like to tell you guys, and you know, these are all pretty obvious, but I just, as I said, I want to get them all in one video. So ooh, I almost missed that sword. That's a rookie mistake right there. But another example that I want to talk about is know what you can get from mid chest and really use that. So I'm hoping I get Gapples so I can show you kind of, well, okay, that's, you know, I would never complain about that chest, but you know what you can get from mid chest and where the chests are. Oh my god. But let's just try to show you what I mean here. Hopefully. Oh, see, here's perks coming into handy again here. I know I can kill that guy because I know what the perks are in this game. And so, alright, we got a Gapple. I'm not going to actually eat it yet. I'm going to, if I have to, I'll fake demonstrate exactly what I'm talking about here. Let's kill this guy, and I really don't want to... Alright, so this is actually perfect. Okay, we're gonna let this guy go. So, say I'm low, always know your map. And know that's exactly what I wanted to demonstrate. That's exactly why I actually picked this map. Don't do it, dude. Oh my god, that was so foolish. So, that literally couldn't have been any better from what I was trying to demonstrate there. Basically, know the map. And I picked this map for that exact reason, where I knew those tunnels were there. And I used what technically it replaced the Gapple that I got from the kill with my Lucky Charm perk with Gapples I would have got from mid. I used the Gapples that I got from mid, we'll say, and I was low, so I retreated, blocked up, ate a gap, and then I had the option of either going back out here, or if he did something stupid, like this guy probably won't do, he might do it. Oh my god. You're gonna. Okay. Well, this is, I could not ask for a better example. Of this at all. So basically you want to do stuff that they might not necessarily know how to combat, or they don't see that often. All right, in that example, you know, they still went in on me, even though they may not have seen my armor. They decided that that was the best course of action, is to actually go in and try to kill me, even though that was not the best course of action. But we're just gonna finish this game up real nice. Oh, that could not have been better. Oh my god. Now I'm gonna use Submerged for my last tip. I think this is the last fundamental tip, and it's very, easy to understand and very obvious in my opinion, but it's very important. Know exactly where, down to the block, where mid chests are. So you can use all your other stuff to get to mid very quickly. As I've shown you, is exactly what you want to do. So you get to mid quickly, and because you already know where these chests are, you will be able to get to them pretty much instantaneously upon getting to mid. So that's a huge... I picked this map because I kind of could show you multiple different examples of everything. But yeah, get to mid as quickly as you can, and once you know where all of these things are, you can get them all. As you can see, we have them all already, and we're ready to actually fight this... Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. Okay, hold on. We really need this kill, and then we can use our strength here. And hopefully... Perfect. Alright, and then we can put that chest plate on. You know, organize your inventories. I'll fit that one into this one since we have a little bit extra time here. And I'll talk about some other tips in this game while we finish it up. But organize your inventory. You know, get all of the junk out of your inventory. You know, put stuff in a place where you'll remember where it is if you want to grab it later. Stuff like that is very useful. You know, get all the junk out. So if you need to pick up something from another enemy, make sure you pick it up instead of just like, you know, having a full inventory and not picking it up at all. Another thing that goes with the chest, actually, it's another good example on this map, but know where stuff like this is. If you know where an anvil or an E-table is, it could literally change the entire game for you. You know, if I had another one, I could do sharp 3 right here, because no one's in middle, I have time, I can do that. To finish it up, I would just like to mention, yes, you can get into the more advanced things that you don't really need. I would definitely say master the simple things first before you move on to the more advanced things, such as speed bridging, stuff like that, bridging in general. You don't need this. You don't. It's not something you need to really ever learn. It helps, obviously, in certain situations, but you don't ever really truly need to learn how to do it. You don't need to learn, you know, all those fancy bridging techniques. It only just, you know, sometimes progresses your game a little bit faster than normal. So that's the only reason why I'd suggest learning it eventually. Because it is actually quite fun once you know how to do it as well. So that's just something I'd like to... Where did that speed go? Hypixel's super weird. I don't understand it. Straight for the guy here, and then obviously I have those, so I can just come in here and combo this man to the next dimension, I'm pretty sure, and then we just turn around. This guy actually knows I have strength, but it won't matter because he's got nothing, so we can just quickly do that, and quickly grab those. We already have those. Alright, well, that worked out really well, but I think that'll conclude all these simple tricks that I can think of off the top of my head. I'm sure I could probably think of some more that would help out, but obviously those are the main ones for Skywars. So hopefully those helped you. I don't really know, man. You know, a lot of you guys probably knew all of these, and you've seen me do them countless amounts of times in my videos, but I figured I've gotten this seriously for well over a year. People always asking me to do how to get better at Skywars, or asking me what I do to do well, and just various forms of that question, basically. So I figured once and for all, I'd make this video to help out the people that aren't, maybe not, you know, maybe aren't as good, or not nearly where they could be at least, and maybe those players will get better. Hopefully it wasn't too boring for those of you who are just insane and the greatest PvPers of all time and greatest Skywars players of all time. So sorry for you guys, because you didn't probably learn anything from this video, but you saw me kill a bunch of people if you're still here. Hopefully, maybe leave a like, help me. But that'll do it. Hopefully you found this helpful at least a little bit, and subscribe if you are brand new. Drop a like on this video if you want more videos like this. I can do it for other games, other game modes inside of Skywars. I can even do a tips too if I can think of a bunch more tips, which I'm sure I can. But those are the simple ones I can think of off the top of my head. So hopefully they helped you. Thanks for watching, guys. I really do appreciate it. Peace.